I remember as a boy, a teenage boy, going to what was then RFK Stadium and looking around, and the stadium itself had a life to it. And I said, this is what I want to be a part of. This is where I want to come every day. Stadiums have lives. When you walk in to Camping World Stadium, you can feel the pulse of athletes that have played there, games that have happened, significance. No other building is like that. That's brick and mortar and steel, but it has a life. And I said, that's what I want to do. I was a teenage kid, and I've been able to do that. I've been to so many great games, so many wonderful people. You know, you can't remember at times what you had for lunch 2 days ago, but if I gave you a date in a year, you can remember the first game you ever saw. You can remember in detail the first game you ever played, all of that. It started when I was in college. I wanted to get involved with it somewhat. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area, and was blessed by great media. The Washington Post had epic sports columnists like Shirley Povich and the like. The major league teams, they had baseball, they had the Redskins, and football with Vince Lombardi and George Allen. They were all quite successful. And I went to school at Virginia Tech. I was the first person in my family to go to school. It was a major university, but it had a student-run radio station that was AM and FM, that we could pretty much do whatever we pleased there. We had opportunities to do things. So I got started broadcasting games there, and also broadcasting local high school games on Friday and Saturday nights for the local AM radio station in Southwest Virginia. So I got experience there. And when I graduated in the late 70s, I was fortunate enough to go to the University of Richmond, which was playing football, basketball, baseball, and started broadcasting their games. Went from there to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt at the time had a member of the SEC as it is now, but it was a major city in Nashville and had opportunities at media. We were drawing a lot of people in basketball, about 15,000. And after a few years there, was invited by the University of Alabama to come broadcast their games, and did that for 5 years. Had a wonderful time, great experiences before the invitation to come here. So it was a progression, and you look back on it now, Andrew, it was all very fortunate that these opportunities to continue to unfold for me. There's that expression, the days are long, but the years are short. You look back and you went, how did all that happen so fast? And that can't really be 30 years, can it? Well, it can. Pat Conroy, the great author of The Prince of Tides, The Great Santini, Lords of Discipline, The Water is Wide, he wrote in his book, My Losing Season, about his years as a basketball player at the Citadel. He said, as he came to his later years in life, the greatest surprise you will ever realize is how fast the years are. And they are. From the time the Magic started till now, the time baseball started to now. You played soccer at the collegiate level. Look at the growth of that sport since when? Since the World Cup came here in '94, when they held the World Cup. Look at the explosion in the last 26 years of that sport, the growth of that sport in the United States. I get up in the morning to watch the Premiership now on ESPN. I have my favorite teams, Chelsea and what have you, from working for Fox in London. But sport has become so incredibly important from a business platform as well as an entertainment platform in the last 3 decades. Imagine 3 decades ago when we came here, I was broadcasting the University of Alabama's football and basketball games, and that was on radio. And I came here with Dave Olmstead to create this network, start this network called Sunshine Network, which now is Fox Sports Florida, Fox Sports Sun. But when we came here, and Kathy Whedon from Florida Citrus Sports joined us shortly thereafter, there was no NBA, there was no Major League Baseball, there was no National Hockey League in the state of Florida. Bobby Bowden hadn't won a national championship. Miami had not. Florida had not. There was one Heisman Trophy that had been won by Steve Spurrier back in the 60s. So It was all brand new. And we created what was a regional television network, which were unheard of at the time, where you had all the little cable companies bond together to create Sunshine with one contract to televise Florida State football replays, because not every game was on television. And coincidental to that, and synergistically with that, all the leagues expanded. The NBA came twice into Florida, the Heat and the Magic. The National Hockey League came twice into Florida, the Lightning and the Panthers. Major League Baseball came twice into Florida, the Marlins and the Rays. And we were the business partner, the television partner of every single one of those entities. They banked our contracts, the revenue that we would produce for them. And we are still the television partners of every one of those major league franchises. And for the last 30 years have been the most significant partner for every one of them. So I just happened to be the fellow they needed to slap on the TV screen to talk about it, while the real movers and shakers were creating an industry behind the scenes. And it just exploded. And now you have all these major league sports, national championships, regional sports networks throughout the country. But it all began about 32 years ago now with the creation of small little entities like Sunshine Network. I always say, be very nice and very supportive of the interns, because one day, I guarantee you, you're going to work for them. They're going to be your boss. Invariably, that's happened. Kathy Whedon went from an entry-level position to a senior-level position at Fox and was my superior, my boss, and then ran networks, works at a high level for Florida Citrus Sports. Eric Shanks, who now heads Fox Sports in total. The regional networks were under him, but the big Fox that does the NFL on Sunday, the NFL on Fox, he was a broadcast associate. It would assist broadcasters such as me, not me necessarily, but others, preparing for their broadcast. Now he is the very head of the network. They follow that path. I've always said, if one had an opportunity to become, proximity to power and influence is power and influence. If you have an opportunity at a young age to go assist people of influence, take that. If you can be, regardless of the income, don't worry about the income in that first position. Hunt more for opportunities. Sleep on the floor. If you can be an intern for the Today Show, do it. If you can be an intern at Fox, do it. If you can be an intern at ESPN, do it. I remember the great Erin Andrews, who's gone on to stardom and acclaim, when she was first an intern, I believe, at Channel 9 here in Orlando, and then came on the air with Fox Sports Sun with us, anchoring hockey broadcasts in 2001, 2003, then had an opportunity to go to the next level with ABC, and then her career, like a rocket, became what it is today. A wonderful person, but she had the opportunity to work and took it. And because she met people that were decision makers in this business who admired their work, her work, she went on to great acclaim. I worked with Kenny Albert. He's had great success. Jacob Ullman, who is now a senior executive at Fox. P.T. Navarro at Fox. We went to Europe. Rich Russo was directing games for us. We went with the NFL to NFL Europe and did games. Rich Russo directed some of my games. He now directs the Super Bowls on Sunday because he was given an opportunity for experience. If you can gain experience, is that the word I'm looking for, Andrew? Gain experience regardless of its opportunity cost, regardless of income, you need to do that.